Welcome to the Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast. Join host Marco Torres, co-founder of MarketingBoost.com, Internet Ninja marketer Christian D. Evans, along with expert guests as they deliver incredible, proven solutions to your marketing challenges in each power-packed episode. Captain Marco has guided thousands of entrepreneurs, growing their sales and marketing through the use of value-add incentives. His Facebook groups are home to more than 84,000 entrepreneurs who are raking in sales with his advice. Get ready to be blown away with game-changing lessons for your business.
This is your host, Marco Torres, coming to you live here in the Facebook group, and we're bringing on a powerful speaker today. One of our guest speakers, Josh Ramsey, is an expert marketer, giving us some tips today on how to grow your business, how to market, when to market, and a whole lot more. So I look forward to this conversation with Josh. Josh, give me a moment. Let me go ahead and get back to accepting you into the Facebook group that you just joined. Let me go ahead and make sure I accept you in as a new member to the Facebook group. I see you here, Josh Ramsey, you're approved and in the group. So now you can also keep an eye on the comments that might come within the live broadcast in our Facebook group. And here we go. So Josh, take a moment and tell us about yourself. Well, let me read a little bit about your bio first. Josh is a business development manager at clearbrand.com. He's a digital marketer for many years now, agency focused on data-driven marketing that gets results, more leads and sales. He believes that without a good marketing business, without good marketing, businesses die and people suffer, and that ethical, scientific marketing can change the world. So welcome, Josh. Take it away. Tell us a little bit about your background, how we met. The story of how we met on podcast is something I want to chat about, on Podmatch rather, is something I want to chat about as well, because I believe in that product. I think many of our members out here are also podcasters or want to be interviewed on podcasts, and I think this is a great way to get your story out. So Josh, take it away.
Thank you, Marco. Very happy to be here. I just put a comment into the Facebook group. Any questions you have, just pop it into that discussion. Let's get real with real stuff that's going to help real businesses change real lives. So I have a background in just presenting. I mean, it depends how far back you want to go. Acting before that, but basically, what brought me to starting to work with and for ClearBrand is that I had been just fed up with hope marketing in my own consultancy. At hoping this, hoping that, spending money and not seeing results. And then I came across the ClearBrand website blueprint, which is an amazing resource that they give away at clearbrand.com. And I then saw that they had a course that I could do that would help me to apply story to my marketing. And I did that course, built out a site, ended up in a call with the team and joined them. And here we are. And not to say that'll happen with everyone, but just really believe in this product. And as a South African, that is where I'm calling in from. So we're a global team. I work from South Africa. I wouldn't be on this podcast, this show right now, if it wasn't for an entrepreneur. Our government decides to limit the electricity availability due to their inefficiencies. And I'm here because I've got some amazing batteries on that side of the room, and that was created by an entrepreneur. So people do suffer when businesses die. And we can avoid that with good marketing. And we take it very seriously that you guys are listening to us about marketing. So that's what we're here to do, add value.
I like that story. You point out that it's businesses, that make the world go around. And I've often seen, early on in my career, people being like, I don't like sales. I don't like being a salesman, yada, yada. But, nothing in the world happens until somebody buys something. The transactions that are, when people buy products and services from other people, that creates an economy that supports us. It allows us to buy, food, beverage, power, lights. When you buy products, you're helping employ people, whether you're buying products from your neighbor or you're buying products from, somewhere built and made on some other, around the world. Regardless, it still takes a transaction to help the economy keep moving. And, we're all a part of it, no matter what business or industry. And you've got to be in sales and marketing. And of course, you got to decide what comes first, the egg or the chicken. You you can't sell anything without first having some prospects and some marketing coming in to generate those prospects typically. So you've got to decide, one, polish your sales your sales technique and your sales platform and systems, so that now when you do turn on some marketing, you can convert and turn it into profits, and therefore you can support the staff that you're hired, that you can employ IT guys, you can employ virtual assistants. You can be a big part of changing the world by how many people can you employ with the success of your business. But Josh, tell us more now. Enough about me. We're here to talk about you and what you do for the world and how 𝗙𝗵𝗶 brand supports people. So take it away. Tell us some more.
Yeah. So at the core of what we do at 𝗙𝗵𝗏 brand is we like swimming upstream. Let me just unpack that a bit. It's so easy to get caught up in marketing efforts, right? You see some viral video about a guy saying, okay, if you don't have 50 blogs on your site, you're never going to get traffic. And off I go. I'm going to spend the next 4 weeks writing 50 blogs. Was that the right thing for my product? Was that the right thing for my service? I haven't asked the hard questions that we need to ask before we get busy being busy. So we've got a marketing framework. It's what we use to build the strategies for our clients. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about why it's so important to build memories, maximize availability, and reach the market. We call this the 𝗙𝗏 brand marketing flywheel. And the reason we use the word flywheel, for those that aren't engineering based or outdoorsy much, a flywheel is a big, heavy spinning disc, and it gets momentum with little pushes over time, and it spins faster and faster. And that is what is going to drive growth, drive marketing, drive revenue, is consistent actions of building memories, maximizing availability, and reaching the entire market if you can. And then back to building memories. So I've got 2 pillars on each of those components that I'd like to unpack, and we can just follow where your curiosity goes and hopefully answer some questions that are coming in live. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I like that flywheel. If you know anything, as you say, about engines, every engine's got to be the flywheel. So once you get that rolling, it can make momentum keeps it going. But yeah, unpack that the next topic you were there ready to discuss.
Yeah,
please.
Absolutely. So building memories is where we start. And the reason for this is that only 5% of the market that any product or services is aiming at is ready to buy right now. That's what the statistics show. That's what the data shows. There's some variance, it changes a bit, but in general, a very small amount of your customers are ready to buy right now. So when they encounter your marketing, they go, wow, that's the problem that these guys solve. That's the problem I have. How do I get it? I want it. For the vast majority of your customers, that's going to be in the future. So we've got 2 pillars here that we want to use to make sure that we are unforgettable and recognizable. So we want to use a clear brand story to make sure that your customer knows where in their brain to store what you do, right? So that means a bad example of this is if you're a running company and your website says, the future is coming to you now, versus we sell running shoes that improve your personal times and don't hurt your back, or whatever the variation of that is. So we got to be clear. And in 3 seconds or less, we got to show our customer, this is the problem that we solve. And then the second pillar, we want to be distinct. We want to be recognizable, so that when that customer is going, which was the one that built those running shoes that improves, we go, oh, it's the pink one with the horse with the shoes on, whatever the example is, right? And what companies will do is, firstly, they'll focus on their own story. They'll say, we're the best because we're pushing the boundaries of innovation. And your customers, well, I don't know how that helps me. And then they'll focus on differentiation. We're so special because we have this unique thing. But remember that all of your competitors in your category are also special. They're also talking about why they're special. And so from the customer's perspective, you all look the same. right? So we want to lean into being distinct and clear in our messaging. And that is the core of building memories.
Yeah, I like that. And telling a story, there's an art to that. And I've recently seen a number of, ads thrown my way from variety companies, really focusing on storytelling. I recently signed up with a course with a company called 𝗺𝗵𝗶𝗽, or my mentor I'm currently involved with, called 𝗺𝗵𝗶𝗽, was all about creating and telling your story properly. But dig more into that if you'd like, about, how do you create that story? How do you focus on those memories that you're referring to?
Yeah, so at the core of consumer behavior, our consumers are distracted and emotional. They are not rational, as we might think. So we have to be using story to connect with them, because story not only lights up more areas of the brain, which means you're literally building more memories in someone's brain, 7 parts of the brain as opposed to 2 with just facts and figures. But there is a framework that you can use. Every great blockbuster film does the same thing. It's got 3 acts. There's a character that has a problem. They encounter a guide or someone that knows a solution, and then they battle it out and they get the result. So if we use, variations of this structure, we're going to be mirroring something that humans have used for thousands and thousands of years to convey information. And at the core of it, story is about cause and effect. And our customers want to look at the cause and they want to see the effect. Okay, I have a problem. Look, if I apply this gel, it will take away pain. If I use this new carburetor, I'm going to get 80% more efficiency. And so that's why story is so important. And the reason we start with building memories in our flywheel is that we want to minimize marketing waste. Marketing waste in the form of budget spend, in the form of human resource, in the form of time. And it's only once we've got at least a tier 1 or a low-lying fruit of a clear brand story and distinctive design that we then transition into the second component, which is maximizing availability.
And what do you mean, or why would you say that being distinct is more important than being differentiated? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so it leans into, maybe we can call this the snowflake effect, right? Every snowflake is unique. Every snowflake is different from every other snowflake. But that's only if you zoom up super close and you look at them. But if you zoom out, and if you think of a customer looking at all of the competitors in the marketplace, each one of them is talking about why they're special, why they are different. Just like a snowflake, each one of them is different. But when you zoom out, they all look the same. And really what we find in the data of when this buying decision is made is that there's a recognition. Oh, they're the pink one. Oh, yeah. For me, when I think of you, that picture of the boat that came up when we were doing the intro here, Captain Marco Torres, that is burned into my brain. And you're the captain, and we can trust captains, and they'll take us through a storm, and all of a sudden you're the guy I remember. I don't know, specifically the statistics on why, travel incentives are a great marketing option. I haven't, maybe I saw something about it while I was, digging into your content, but I remember you, and you're distinct, and you're seeing that in the Facebook groups that you got exploding all over the place, and you're following, and the success that you've had. So being distinct is very important because it stands out in our customers' brains more than our differentiators, right? Because that's about us. That's all about us. We just want to give them something that ties into our story, that problem that we can solve for them.
Yeah, that distinct becomes a part of whether or not you're going to create that like and trust factor.
The memory, yeah.
Yeah, which is part of what we do with Marketing Boost by providing our members the ability to give away our travel incentives. It helps them be distinct and not just differentiated, but have something that their competitors may not, stand out from the crowd, etc. On that subject, let's take a quick commercial break for our sponsors, Marketing Boost and Automation Booster.
It's time to wow, surprise, and impress your clients with the most powerful customer draw card available anywhere. The Marketing Boost Solutions Show is brought to you by Marketing Boost, where you can get valuable travel and restaurant incentives to drive your leads from prospects to paying customers. Now you can offer complimentary hotel stays in over 130 destinations worldwide. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com and try it for free right now.
So welcome back to the Marketing Boost Solutions podcast. I'm here with a very special guest, the Joshua Ramsey here from Click Brands, we're digging deep into marketing and standing out from the crowd, differentiating us, creating that distinct factor, which obviously is part of what we offer with Marketing Boost, that wow, surprise and delight factor with marketingboost.com. But Josh brings a whole nother world of ideas on that as well. Another question I have for you, Josh, is, you've got in your talking points that I'm going through, if you are not available, then you can't be bought. Tell us more about what you mean by that.
So this is leaning into the second component of vital marketing as we see it. Once we've built out that clear, that brand, we've built clear memories in our marketing. Now we want to be available. If someone is looking for us, we want to be easy to find and easy to buy. So a great example of a big brand that is, showing us that if big brands are doing it, we got to do it too. If you think of Apple, the most recognized brand in the world, you can buy an iPhone from Apple. Sure. You can buy an iPhone from Verizon. You can buy an Apple on Amazon. Anywhere that you can buy anything techie, you can buy an iPhone. So they are easy to find, right? Anywhere that someone looking for the category of your product or your service, anywhere they are looking for that, you need to be available. So this involves doing a bit of research and finding out where people look for your category of product or service and making sure that you're listed there. That might be on Google, that might be on Amazon, that might be on a top 10 list of some blogger or whatever the case may be. I don't have the answer. The point here is that we got to start with the right question. And then we got to be easy to buy, competitive pricing, few clicks as possible, quick loading speed, any friction that is going to stop that person from reaching out to the shelf. You imagine somebody walking into a grocery store and they're looking for toothpaste. Your toothpaste, your brand is either on the shelf or it's not. Toothpaste is going to get bought. They're not going to go, oh, that brand of toothpaste I like isn't here. I'll come back tomorrow and I'll see if it's here. So we have to be available when people are looking to buy. And that's why maximizing our availability to our customers is very, very important.
Yeah, I like that. And another question I have for you is, how do you reach every possible customer possible, which again is what you just covered in a way, but you refer to starting with the use, not the user. Please untackle that, unbox that for us.
Yeah, for sure. So once we are available to those looking for us, right? These are the people that are reaching out to that physical or, digital shelf, quote unquote. That's great. But there's a whole bunch of market sector, the whole bunch of customers that are not even looking for us. They might not know that we exist or might not even know that our category exists. And in this space, we need to now make sure that we're reaching out to them, right? If you imagine that shelf now reaching out, trying to find customers, that's what our third component of vital marketing is about, reaching the market. And, there's two aspects to this. The first is that we want to maximize the number of users that are engaging with us. So a great statistic that was very surprising to me is, and it comes out of some work done by the 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗽 Institute out of Australia, is that Coca-Cola earns more than 50% of their revenue from people that buy Coca-Cola. They buy 1 to 2 cans of Coca-Cola per year. Just let that settle for a second. This is more than 50% of a mega billions company, and it's light buyers. It's the fact that they are so vastly distributed over the marketplace and everyone is engaging with them. And the way in which they've done that is by leaning into the second pillar of reaching the market, which is focusing on uses, building connections, uses. Now, if you look at even an example of project management tool like Monday.com or Asana.com or Teamwork, all of these products are very similar. And on their site, they will build connections with different uses, right? So there'll be a page that's all about track your employees' engagement, or make sure that all tasks are getting done, or bring communication, get a unified culture in your company. It's all the same product, but they are specifically using clear storytelling around the uses of each way in which their product can be used. So when we do that,
so when you start
available to more
focusing
people.
on I guess, so instead of focusing on the features of your product or service, create those storylines based on how that particular feature solves a particular problem. What does it do for me?
Yeah, 4 different market sectors, 4 different users that would be attracted to what you do. So one of the reasons Coca-Cola is just so widely used, because there's so many connections to its uses. You drink Coca-Cola when you're with friends. You drink it when you're on the beach. You drink it in wintertime because all the Santa branding that they've done. You drink it on a hot day. You drink it before sport as a prep. You drink it after sport as a celebration. There's so much emotion and connection to the use of their product that everyone thinks of it and goes, yeah, I could do with a Coke right now. Oh, they walk up to the vending machine. Yeah, Coke. So many times it's just so many memories of the problem I need to solve, and so many problems associated to the usefulness of that product. And that's one of the reasons that I've penetrated the whole market pretty much.
So another question I would have for you is, what is a lot of marketers out there are saying, niche down, find your unique niche and just focus on that. In my case, for example, with Marketing Boost, we service business owners of all types, from all industry niches around the world. We'd had a really hard time, so to speak, of trying to define and say, well, we support, this niche better than that niche, and maybe we should focus on, just insurance agents or just the medical field, whatever it might be. But and we never have. We continue to just be kind of open to all entrepreneurs out there as one of the tools that they could have in their toolbox. And speaking of that, before we go on, let's take a moment. Speaking of toolboxes, let's take a moment, take a break for another sponsor, Automation Booster. And we'll be right back. Give me a moment. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Marketing Boost Solutions podcast. We're here with a very special guest, Josh Ramsey, who's talking to us from Clear Brand in South Africa. And we're discussing marketing techniques, marketing tools, and just concepts overall on how to improve your marketing strategies. So the question I have for you, we were just on the subject of what is a niche anyway? And so instead of a marketing niche, you say use the word focus instead. Can you break that down for us? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so not to throw the marketing niche under the bus. It is useful. We just like to think about its use case in a very specific way. Before I unpack that, I want to bring a little bit of color to the conversation in this space by doing a little thought experiment. And I think it's going to be backed up by the fact that you've just given that prelude to the fact that you're serving entrepreneurs all over the place. You thought about just focusing on one of them or niching in on one kind of marketing or business avatar. So let's run this little experiment. You think of the brand Harley-Davidson. You think of this motorbike brand. Now, can you describe to me who you think rides a motorbike like a Harley-Davidson? What is the niche that fits that brand? When I say to that, what comes to mind?
You think of guys in their 40s, mostly, guys in their 40s that are kind of wannabe bikers. They want to have that, let their hair out, get some freedom.
Yeah, hair, freedom, tattoos, maybe, beards, maybe some ripped jeans, maybe some big leather jackets, That's the image
Yeah.
that comes to mind for me.
Yeah,
Now,
that freedom lifestyle where you want to
yeah,
at least dress up on the weekend and feel like a biker and
yeah,
put on a scarf and head out there. I'm one of them.
yeah.
I don't drive a Harley. I drive an Indian, but I know what you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So you probably got some friends in this, or maybe not. I don't know how that your world works, but here's the stats. Here's the data on this. That avatar, that customer avatar, that niche, if you want to use that word, that is 3.5% of Harley Davidson's revenue. 3.5%, right? That's the face that I made when I saw that as well. So the vast majority of Harley Davidson's revenue, dentists, doctors, lawyers, moms, dads, soccer dads, who knows? Who knows who they are? So if we make all these assumptions about who's going to buy our product, well, we just might be wrong. And we're not going to know until we've really tested this in so many different ways. And again, resilience is going to come from reaching the entire market and finding all those light buyers as opposed to just focusing on people that are going to buy 10 times. And the point here is that the word niche, it's really being used incorrectly. The way it should be used is focus. Of course, you've got limited budget. You've got to start somewhere. But this is useful only if we have limited budget. And I know there's always a limited budget. So we use a marketing niche as a focus area to start our marketing, to reach users that have not been made aware of us or our category. But we always want to be penetrating the market. That is what is going to bring true growth and resilience, not only to our cash flow, to our business. And really at 𝗙𝗵𝗵, we're interested in businesses that are looking 10 years, 15 years. You know, this is not profit over growth. This is not short-term thinking. We want to make sure that we're pushing this flywheel for 10 years and growing a great business that keeps growing, moving in different directions. And there's going to be mistakes with that, you know. But this is why the niche is better used as a focus area.
So I'm publishing right here in the Facebook chat the link that you sent me about your website for anybody following there about 𝗙𝗵𝗵. Tell us a little bit about what we can find on 𝗙𝗵𝗵, some of the free resources that are available to all the entrepreneurs here in the Marketing Boost community, and what should they go do and get there to get started.
So, you know, much like I did when I first encountered 𝗙𝗵𝗵brand.com as a customer, just go poke around. One of the resources that really I was blown away by that is absolutely free is the 𝗙𝗵𝗵 website template. It's a PDF, basically outlines how to apply the story framework to your marketing on your site. You literally get what should be in the top, where should your call to action be, what comes next, what comes after that, and you can just roll on down through that PDF and make some edits to your site, and that's immediately going to help with what I'm seeing in the chat. One of the questions coming up there: how do I minimize the number of clicks from a landing page? Well, you got to get that first click. So, you know, that first click is going to come by focusing your call to action. We want to have a one call to action that we're iterating throughout our messaging in one specific use that we are building, right? Whatever that is, we always want to make it very clear and minimize other options on the site.
Well, you know, that's a good point about website versus, for example, sales funnel that you're referring to. You know, at least in my mind, the definition of a funnel versus a website. A website might be your overall landing page that covers everything you do, all of your navigation, links, about us, testimonials, you know, everything people want to start digging and researching about you. But when you're driving traffic from an ad, a marketing campaign, something you're spending money on that focus-driven ad campaign that you're spending money on to drive traffic to, that, at least in my experience, it should be more of a funnel versus a website where your only calls to action are whatever it is you need them to do. So you're driving them through the traffic coming into your landing page. Then that design, is that PDF you referred to kind of referring to a funnel setup or a website setup? In other words, taking them down, should be this, should be this, should be that, to get them to take that one call to action, whatever that is.
Yeah, so it's a website design tool. Yeah, so it's how to lay out, copy, words that sell on your site so that you can tell a clear brand story about what it is, so that your customer lands on your site and goes, within 3 seconds, I know what this company does. Immediately, I know what they do. Okay, what happens next? I got to engage with them. I got to interact with them. How do I do that? Okay, cool. I can click on this thing, and that's how I do it. There you go. So there you go. You land on our page. Results-driven digital marketing agency for growth-oriented companies. Schedule a call. We want to talk to you. Schedule a call. There it is. You click on the schedule a call, and that's when you pop up on my calendar or one of the other team's calendar, and we have a conversation about your company, and then we see if we're fit to work with you. And we're not a fit for everyone, and that's
so what
okay.
I like about your website here is, okay, you do have the full navigation of a full website. You've got your, industries you serve, the products and services you provide, the resources tab, etc. But then your call to action throughout the funnel here is about what you do, etc. And then, take action on one of these buttons here that you're going to continue to promote. Where do I find here that PDF you're referring to?
So if you head on up
those
to
that are
the top
watching
of
on the video of this particular show can find us here.
Absolutely. Head on up to the top of the site, and I can show you where we've applied our own thinking to the site. So head on up straight to the top.
Okay.
And if you go from left to right, I'm going to just explain why it's set up the way it is, and then I'll take you straight to that resource. So if you hit on the left there in services, people can see what it is that we do. The industries tab, that's a great example of building connection with users, right? This is all the things in which that we've focused on. So if you're SaaS and technology, you can see yourself in that. Don't worry about clicking through, because we'll get a bit distracted. The one over that is how we, work with our customers to help them train themselves and for them to, fix up their own marketing. And then one to the right of that is resources. And this is where I'd say everyone should start. If you just head 2 down or 1 down over there, the StoryBrand website template, hit that, and that is going to take you to that PDF that we've just discussed that will help you with the messaging on your site.
Nice. Very good. So I'll have to get that downloaded myself as well, and we will get that. Wonderful. So thanks for that resource, Josh.
Absolutely.
Tell us more about, for people listening now, let's get into, if they're doing this on their own without the support of your agency, clear brand training and courses, and, the entire services that you provide, from web design, lead generation, and StoryBrand. By the way, before we go that, who is your avatar? Who do you serve? What kind of budget do I need to have to be considering hiring someone like Clear Brand to support my business? Just roughly, do you help, the solopreneur getting started, or you're more likely to work with people doing over $100,000 a month? Where should somebody be to really look at trying to scale using Clear Brand?
So leaning into our perspective of reaching the entire market, we've actually made these offers available currently. Currently, we are serving, all the way from, an entrepreneur that has less than $1,000 all the way up to companies that are looking to spend, over $100,000. It really depends on what it is that the company is looking for. And depending on whether it's going to be done for you, which is where we do everything and we take it on and we manage your ads and we build out your messaging and your work on your offer, work with your sales team. It's a full kind of turnkey offer. Then done with you, which is where we provide that training systems and support so that you can develop in-house the skills. And that comes with all of, our SOPs, internal documents. You can think of franchise without a franchise. And then, of course, there's the academy, which is the course material that you can get access to, and you can work at your own pace and build out a site and then move into ongoing marketing efforts based on the information that we share about our approach that we use with our own clients.
Is your business on autopilot yet? Do you have automation in place to capture, nurture, and convert prospects into clients via email, SMS, ringless voicemails, appointment setting? Get all the inbound and outbound marketing tools in one place. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on automating your business so you can make money while you sleep.
What other tips would you give to entrepreneurs out there that, getting started? Where should they once they've got a sales funnel or sales page website built, they've got their calendars, they've got their appointment systems ready to go, and they're ready to start spending some money marketing. Maybe they defined who their focus client is. Now they've got an idea. Okay, here's who I think my client is going to be. I'm going to focus on this first with my limited budget. Where would you guide people to go first? In your team's experience, are you telling people that let's set up some Facebook ads, or are you going with pay-per-click Google, or are you telling people let's email marketing? Where do you usually guide people first?
Yeah, well, I think first up to say, if someone has all the systems and structures that you've just described, I would definitely not consider them just starting out, because that is an amazing foundation that you're aware of. And I think we take that for granted as marketers. I can relate to the guy that's just doesn't know what to do and is so anxious because you have to be doing something, and that anxiety sits in you. And then somebody comes along and says, hey, here's this 20 grand program or $5 grand program. You're going to get $1 million in 30 days. And, we just want to latch onto it before asking ourselves some deep questions, before doing the boring stuff, competitor research, market fit testing. And, if you're talking about ad spend, I'm going to put on a caveat that I am not 𝗫𝗵𝗏.com's digital marketing, kind of ad buyer specialist. So I wouldn't give an opinion on what is best, but ads in general are a great way to test engagement. And you can run ads that are not necessarily for converting sales, but are to test messaging. Which language is testing better? Okay, cool. Well, now we've run this test, and we've run it for not a day, not 5 days, maybe a week minimum, maybe a month. So we can really get good data. Now we can use that A/B test, and this would be the crux of the advice I'd give. Follow the market's response. Don't sit in your ivory tower making all these decisions. Follow what the market is doing. Turns out, for example, let's say you're a running shoe company, and you've got one shoe that's much more casual. It's not your super trail, I want to be known as these very fit driving athlete brand. It's a casual shoe, and it's outselling everything 10 to 1. Well, you need to lean into that casual shoe. You need to make a couple others that are casual too. And then maybe once you've got that great cash flow, you've got money in the bank, and you can start branching out into other spaces that you might want to go. But you need to focus on the market. What is it saying? What is the data saying? What is the reality that you're having to deal with? And respond to the market. Don't just sit in isolation.
That reality might not be your favorite product or service. It might be something else in your arsenal that's selling the most. So
yeah.
In your client base there, by the way, let me backstep and do a little self-promoting here. For one of the things that we provide is our sponsor, Automation Booster. Is if for those listening to this live broadcast or recorded podcast, at Marketing Boost, when you become an annual member of Marketing Boost right now, you can get our free version of Automation Booster, which is our funnel builder. And in the funnel builder, we've got a whole library of free templates to help you, especially with maybe even with Josh's PDF that we referred to. But we help you build that sales funnel. We help you get organized with your sales funnel first, your calendars. You get unlimited calendars that you can set up. And if you get the paid version of Automation Booster, that helps you in advance of going live. If you're a brand new, entrepreneur getting started, or you're already moving along, we're going to help you set up your email marketing, your text messaging, your voicemail broadcasting, your sequencing of being able to capture a lead and then nurture it until it becomes, so you can kind of think through the process before you start spending advertising dollars and set up the whole system. And so that's what Automation Booster does. So when I talked about, having a client do that, that's one of the things we help our members do is get a process set up so that you can start then spending some advertising dollars and do A/B testing and see, okay, where are my clients going? What are they buying? What are they booking appointments for my myself, for my sales team? And then start tracking everything, tracking your leads, tracking your conversions, and then go about tweaking until you start to realize I put $10 of marketing in, I spent $30 out, and then once you have that developed, then you can just put everything you've got into it and keep it rolling out. And if you can't get to that, $2 in, $6 out, then that's where you might go look, that's when you might need to hire professionals like 𝗙𝗵𝗵 to help you take that to the next level. And there's a lot of resources out there, a lot of resources on the 𝗙𝗵𝗵website.com. So 𝗙𝗵𝗵brand.com, if I'm not mistaken. And go there, book a free consultation. There is a free consultation, is there not, Josh?
Yeah, so that'll be a right fit conversation. So we'll just see what it is that you're looking for, and we'll see which one of our products or services, or which one of our services can help. And if none of them can, we're going to tell you that too. So, it's really about diving into the truth of what gets results. And if we don't think we can help, that's just what it is. I just had a quick look behind the scenes there at Automation Booster. It looks like you guys are doing some great work there. And, I'm sure that the data that comes out of that really helps your members to, get insights into what's working. But yeah, for sure, our messaging could help as well.
Correct.
We need every little bit that we can get.
Exactly. I don't know if you offer a CRM platform like that over at 𝗙𝗵𝗵, but I would imagine your clients, if they don't, if you don't provide that, they have that, or that's part of.
You gotta these days. You gotta have a space that you can keep track of everything. We don't provide that service. We generally integrate with the CRM, the customer relationship management tool that the customer arrives with. So we've got our favorites, but we'll work with what is there. Yeah. Exactly.
And so in today's world, those of you listening, if you're not set up with, here's one of the mistakes too many entrepreneurs make, in my opinion, is they're plugging in all these different services that they used to all, and still do, have all these. You could go one place for simpletexting.com, another place for constant contact, or somewhere else for email marketing, somewhere else for ringless voicemails. Then you're going somewhere else for your calendar, like Calendly. And
sounds like a nightmare.
You're trying to plug all these, pieces together, and nightmare. They don't communicate with each other. And it can be a nightmare, especially when you're a solopreneur trying to run all this yourself, and you're logging into one place to send emails this week, and then therefore you're not replying if anybody replies, because you're not checking in for every replied message. And then you're sending a text message from Simple Texting, and then that has no way to reply to people one-on-one. And for example,
you're giving me a headache just hearing that.
Say again?
That sounds like a headache just hearing all of those things.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how I used to run the business. I didn't have what there is today. Yeah. I tell people this all the time. I really believe there's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur right now. There's
absolutely
the tools and the software and the technology that's available to not reinvent the wheel, and use companies like 𝗙𝗵𝗵, and following your PDF on how to build that website, how to build those sales tools, and then publishing it on something like Automation Booster. And we're not the only one out there. There's plenty of CRM platforms, but we provide it more affordably than anywhere else. But anyway, you'll get, you can organize everything and automate so much of it that your business can begin. Once you take the time to set everything up, your business can, run, a lot of it can run on autopilot. And that's what we teach in the marketingboostsolutions.com world, with a number of tools to support and automate your business. marketingboostsolutions.com. Josh, what final word? Tell us a little bit about South Africa, where you're from, where you're at. What time of the day is it now?
It's just about to hit 8 p.m. at night. And I am a committed South African. So we generally face problems that a lot of first world countries don't. We're a third world country. We like to act like a first world country. We're big into outdoorsy kind of stuff. So I'm a big hiker, and I'm a big family man. Got 2 kids under 2, and so very busy. And yeah, we there's generally been 2 types of South Africans: those that want to leave and find somewhere else, and those that want to stay and try and fix what's going on here. And I'm definitely the second kind. So I'm a family man. I'm a community man. I live in a small mountain village about 90 minutes away from Cape Town, and leveraging solar power and batteries and fast internet to connect into this global amazing business world that is powering families and countries and businesses around the globe.
I've never been to South Africa. It's on my bucket list to head that way. Uh, Tell us what, on a couple of other side notes, Josh, who has been a mentor in your life that's led you to be where you're at today? What kind of, who would you say is, one of your mentors?
Yeah, in the business space, I can think of 3. The first is Donald Miller. He wrote a book, Building a Story Brand. He really popularized the story brand frame. Another guy, Jim Collins, amazing, Good to Great, the book he wrote, really about great companies. He studied 1,400 companies and he found the 11 greatest companies. And then he aggregated everything that they were doing and put it into a bunch of books. And then the final would be Byron Sharp. He is a professor at the 𝗺𝗵𝗶𝗽 Institute in Sydney, or not in Sydney, in Australia. And he wrote the book along with some partners and research assistants called How Brands Grow, Part 1 and 2. Those would be my top 3. And to be very frank, and I would squeeze this in because, maybe he's not going to hear it. It would be better if he didn't. But my current CEO and founder of 𝗃𝗄𝗃, Alexander Toth, it's been a real journey and enlightening experience to work with him. He's taken all of those 3 authors that I just mentioned and installed their best practices into his own company. And I was a benefactor of that as a customer, and I'm also a benefactor of that as a team member. So I'm very happy to be working with him as well.
That's awesome, Josh. I want to put those in the notes when I publish this as the podcast, but can you repeat all 3 again real quick? It was
Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand. Okay. Then Jim Collins, Good to Great. And then finally, Byron Sharp, How Brands Grow.
Very good. Thank you so much for that. And my final question, is part of getting our audience to know, like, and trust Josh Ramsey. One of the things I like to ask my guests is what music, whether it be genre or a particular song, and then you growing up in South Africa, living there might be a totally different thing than many of us over here in the US think of. But what music or artist or brand or rather, has inspired you at some point in your life that made a difference?
I would say, well, a little precursor to this is that I have tinnitus, so I've got a constant ringing in my ears from a medication that I took when I needed to take it. And so I'm always listening to something, and it invariably, well, the 3 things that I listen to, one is praise and worship music. So that's worship, that's music, worship that is created to, adore and appreciate the creator that the worship music is approaching. And then the second would be instrumental guitar music. And then the third is I've got a bit of a soft spot for like very much techno, summer beach beats vibe kind of music. So those 3, depending on the mood I'm in and what I need, those 3 will make sure that I, get my work done, get energy to do it, and then make sure I'm doing it for the right reasons.
Again, Josh, thank you very much for being on our show, and I look forward to being on yours tomorrow. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks for listening to another episode of Marketing Boost Solutions Podcast with your hosts, Captain Marco Torres and my buddy co-host, Christian D. Evans. Now it's on you. Take the next step now. Go to marketingboostsolutions.com for more on how you can wow, delight, and surprise your clients with the most amazing draw card on the planet. So stay thirsty, my friends. Stay thirsty for knowledge. See you next time.